What's going on, art enthusiasts and change makers? This is another episode of Art for Change podcast. I am your host, Mr. Sapiosexual, and my co-host is in the building. Man, had a Marshall. What's up, player?
It depends. Day.
He said it depends. It depends. And Mr. 4th of July himself, Montana Cobain. What's up, player?
What's going on? What's going on?
Yeah. Speaking of Mr. Mr. 4th of July. 4th of July just passed, man. So you know we gotta put you in the hot seat so you can tell us how that festival went, bro.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We're gonna put the spotlight on Montana today. Mr. 4th of July, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, shit, yeah. You got the questions in front of you, man, Hatter?
Yes.
All right, you want to roll number one?
Sure.
Let's get it, bro.
All right.
First off, before we do that, my fat gentleman, did everybody have a good weekend, man? Everybody had a good weekend?
Had a great weekend, man.
You had a good weekend, man, Hatter?
Yes. I've been busy dog sitting and having taken out dogs multiple times a day.
Pretty
And
busy, huh? Busy work.
The big dog is a lot easier to walk than the little dog. The little dog is a little like boulder with legs.
Ah, there you go. So definitely harder to walk the little one. You find yourself pulling the little one anytime when you walk it or no?
He's pulling me.
He's
I'm about to say,
pulling
little dog.
me.
Hey, yo, what are you doing?
He said he's pulling me, yo.
He's on HGH. I'm telling you, this dog is stock diesel, man. This dog is stock diesel. It's a little Frenchy, but he's got all his muscles, and then he digs into the ground and he plants. He's fucking fruit. Fucking fruit.
All right, but yeah, we'll jump into these questions, man.
All right, Montana.
Marshall.
Can you share us the highlights of your 4th of July festivities and what made this one special over the others?
The highlights from this year, man, honestly, the kids stole the show this year. Usually, it's the grown-ups dancing and them getting on camera, but like, I know a lot of y'all been seeing like lately, like line dance songs have been like very, very popular. So I threw a few of them in the playlist, and when it came time to shine, it was the kids. Like the adults was over there, froze up. I'm like, whoa, So I put the spotlight on the kids, man, and that was one of the biggest highlights to me from the show. Another highlight would probably be seeing all the new faces. All the new faces, man. I had so many message requests and so many Facebook calls, so many people trying to add me on this and add me on that. Hey, such and such told me, but it's okay if I bring my kids. Is the kid friendly? Is it this? Yes, bring them kids. That's who it's for. That's who it's really for. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm trying to give the adults a break on their pockets, and you know what I'm saying, having to worry about their baby kids. Like, yeah, come on, bring them. I want the whole community to experience that. And what was the second part of that question?
It was basically what made this one special over the other ones.
To be all the way honest with you, what made this one special over all the other shows that I have had is the simple fact of there was a point in time excuse me, there was a point in time this year that I wasn't going to do it at all. Like, I wasn't going to put on the big show. I was just going to do something private, something small, invite only, over here, because I do the show at my mother's house. She lives on a dead end street, so I was going to do something over here where I live at, have my neighbors experience it. You know what I'm saying? Probably invite maybe 10, 15 people. Because over there it's 200, 300. It's packed. It's jam packed. I was literally like cutting everything down, and but um in the process of me going through the battle of like, should I do it? Should I not do it? Should I do it? Should I not do it? I got a phone call from the old heads in the neighborhood over there, and the first thing that came out their mouth was, "No, you can't do that to us, buddy." And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, nah. I got my grandbabies coming in from here. I got family from this way. I talked to such and such, and he said this and he said that, and Miss she waiting on you.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, man. All right. All right. Okay. So, and like, believe it or not, I put that show together in maybe a month and a half time. You know, I literally I put that thing together in a month and a half time, and usually I'm usually preparing from July 5th for the next year's show. Once the night is over with, I'll clean up, everybody's going home. I'm already thinking about what I'm gonna do next year. I'm already thinking about the certain fireworks that I seen this year, the things they did. Okay, I'll get that next year. I'm already thinking about the songs that they listened to that made them happy. You know, the type of vibe they had, or if it was an R&B song or it was a hype song. So I'm already plotting like, okay, what can I do next year? Because this year's theme was lovers and friends. So my agenda for the night was, for everybody to go home and get some cutting. So that's what made this year so special.
So you could say the diamond spot, the shining spot, was the fact that it's starting to take on a life of its own.
Yeah, it did. It did. Because I started doing it in 2012 is when I first started, really getting into the depth of fireworks and buying them myself and buying this kind and buying that kind and learning about what brand is good, what brand is not good, which ones are going to be duds, which ones you may have the best luck with. So like I said, in 2012, I would just do it, and it would just kind of be like a little neighborhood thing. We're just all out there with bottles of alcohol and trying to make, everything, just having fun. You know what I mean? And so as that started going on, we did that for a few years. My auntie came to me and she was like, nephew, why don't we just cook? I'm like, you know what? That'll be fine. Let's cook, because I ain't gonna lie. The very first one that I did, a lot of people don't know this. The very first show I did, man, I did that whole 4th of July show off of my car stereo. I had both doors open on the car. Of course, I had some speakers in the trunk. I let my car run all night, music whamming and bamming, and I was just in the middle of the road just blowing shit up. Boom, 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 boom. But we got past that. We started cooking, and that was around, I say, about 2014ish. That's when we started cooking. And then, I would invite coworkers, and I'd tell my family to invite, a few friends. It was kind of like we was almost like fishing for people to come check me out. You know what I mean? So it got to the point to where I was getting tired of people asking me, hey, can such and such come? Can such and such come? I said, you know what? All right. I'm going to try something here. Fuck it. Tell everybody to come. Come on. Tell everybody to come. You know what I mean? I just started opening my doors to the public because that's my mama house. So, that's something very sacred to me. Like, I don't want, just all type of energies being around, where I grew up at and so on. So, I say around, like 2016, I started really opening my doors. We started having more food. I said 2016 or 2017 is when I started to, that was the first time I hired a DJ. I hired a DJ, and I seen the way, the crowd reacted to having a DJ, because we don't really go into depth of the early stages, but it was ugly. You know what I mean? But you got to crawl before you walk, So I hired a DJ and stuff. So after that, I was like, man, you know what? I ain't about to pay nobody to do this. That's when it turned into me really creating a fucking monster, dog. I had started renting speakers. I would use my iPad. I had a DJ set up on my iPad. I would be an MC or a host, whatever you want to call it. Grab all the fireworks, light all the fireworks, change the songs, flip the songs, entertain my crowd, go get some more fireworks, come back, change another song, and keep on. I would do that for 4, 5 hours straight, back and forth, running like a little crackhead. And like it was that hard work right there that really like started drawing more people into it. Like, yo, this little dude right here, man, he doing his thing. And then it started people would be driving by and then see it, and it was word of mouth. It was word of mouth. So eventually, we started to get to the 2020s. Cause I took a year off in 2019. That's when I started trucking. I was somewhere in the middle of fucking Texas, pissed the hell off. I couldn't do nothing for the 4th of July. But that following year, I was still kind of DJing myself, but that's when I started to really turn it into a show. Now I started incorporating bounce houses. Now I started bringing out snow cone machines for the kids, water balloons. I started coming up with themes, Freaknik, 90s, 2000s. I just started putting more and more emphasis into the show because like the love I was getting from the city and just seeing the smiles on, them grandmothers' faces, them aunties, them uncles, them babies' faces, man. It just, like you said, it blew up on its own, man. It blew up on its own, dog.
Isn't it great to watch something take off from its own when it starts off when it's something little?
Yes,
Yeah,
man. Yes.
yeah, yeah. That's a great feeling right there in its own righteousness because I don't I don't charge I don't charge for anything. I don't charge for the food. I don't charge for, what I'm saying, a bounce house or photo booth or nothing. Everything is on me and those who may contribute. I'm not, what I'm saying. There has been shows where 100% has been me, and there has been shows where I had contributions. I'm not gonna take away from the people that have contributed to the show, but what I'm saying, not to belittle them, but it's always majority that come from me and mine.
Right,
So, what
right.
was the turnout like this year, and what was the community's response to it?
This year, in the words of my favorite rapper Gucci, man, I shut the fucker down. Shut the fucker down. Man, cause it was real iffy, to be honest with you. I didn't expect for it to turn out the way it did because of the way I didn't promote it like I usually do. Like I usually always drop teasers, I drop previous recorded shows, or I just keep teasing the people. And with me not doing that until like literally like a week and a half or 2 weeks before the fourth, it was throwing everybody off. People was asking questions. Hey, now I don't know where I'm gonna take my kids now. Are you still doing it? I'm like, I'm not even giving them for sure answers. I'm really playing with their feelings. And I started dropping it, and it was like the day of, or the day before, everybody calling me, texting me, hey, what time is starting? What time is starting? They seeing the video, they sharing it. I'm getting all these views again, getting all these brand new friends. Cause I gained like 200 followers every damn year behind it. Like it's crazy. But yeah. So but the response from the community, they they loved it until they realized that I shut the fuck down. It was that defining point. Yeah, and we'll talk about that in a few. I'm sure. I'm sure, but yeah, they loved it until they realized, like, okay, this is just. But I wouldn't even say that was well. It is a part of the community, but it was more so somebody that was new to the neighborhood. I don't know the person personally, but
Yeah.
I caught wind and heard of the situation that brought brought it brought the heat my way. Yeah, nothing bad as far as like there was no shootings or no fighting or anything like that. It was something so simple and stupid, man. So simple and stupid.
Can you say people are starting to come look at you like a tradition, a new family tradition?
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Because I've had situations where in the earlier years where people might be down the street and you being prior military, so I know man, goddamn, I know man how you're not gonna like this, but they killing clouds, pow 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 pow, and it's children and everything else out here. I don't even have to leave my post. I got what I'm saying. They take care of that. They get them on up out of there. Or what I'm saying, they see people throwing stuff on the ground. Hey, you pick that up because they look forward to that. Like it's really a tradition. Like they look forward. I don't have to go. I don't have to go spend no money on no fireworks.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll go drive. You know what I'm saying. I don't have to go to a commercial or yeah a commercial land where it's going to be policed. You know what I'm saying. I'm not going to lie. People like to enjoy their vegetables, their plants. You know what I'm saying. So when they're going to go watch the shows provided by the city, you can't do that out there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And then you know what I'm saying. And when you go to those certain places, either you can't get shit faced drunk either. I'm
Right.
not saying come to my spot and get shit faced drunk and go out there and do something stupid, but you could party a little more where I'm
Yeah.
at than you could out there. You know what I'm saying, watching the show that the city may put on or the because I live right beside a military base, so the military base they have a Fourth of July show, but I get told every year that my show is better.
Yeah. Better than Fort Bragg.
Better than Fort Bragg, better than Hope Mills.
Yeah. So it is places in Fayetteville that you can see fireworks, but if you're but from most people that are really like people who are native to Fayetteville, North Carolina, they're on 1700 block, July
Yeah,
4th.
right there. They're right there.
Yeah,
They're right there. Yeah, man.
absolutely,
Do you
absolutely.
have any key moments from this year's?
Yeah. Yeah. One of my favorite moments was before I started the show. I kept telling the crowd, I said, "Man, look, let me tell y'all something. So when I start this show, don't y'all bother my damn DJ. Everybody said, man, leave my DJ alone." I said, "Man, look, we put this playlist together." I said, "I don't care what you're listening to. I don't care what you like, what you don't like." I said, "You're supposed to be looking at the fireworks anyway. The music is just the app."
Yeah,
You know what I mean? But I was like, don't bother my DJ. I was like, let the show part go out. I said, now once I conclude the show, and now it's just a party, then you could come ask my DJ to play this from da 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 da. But let me do my show because the fireworks have to go with this song. You know what I'm saying? Your song might not go. I mean, yeah, I could light a firework to it, but it's not gonna go with the vision that I had for that firework or that song. So after I said that, now everybody talking like, man, what the hell wrong with him? I said now, usually when I go to a football game or a basketball game, they always have a pledge of allegiance. I mean, not pledge of allegiance, but the national anthem before they start the football game or the basketball game. So I said, I like to consider myself a professional sport. I said, so I want everybody to put their right hand across their heart. And I played everybody did it. I said, come on now, everybody do it. If y'all don't do it, I ain't starting this show without 100% crowd participation. So everybody had their right hand on their heart. Man, I turned that goddamn little baby freestyle. Oh my God. They went crazy. They lost it. Everybody reciting it word for word. And it was just so funny though, cause they was just like, no, this fool did, man. You gonna turn on the damn little baby freestyle as your national anthem, and that just got the crowd into it. That was one of my highlight moments. Um, Another highlight moment would be it's a personal highlight moment. I shared with Arthur Chase. Not even my crowd know this, but before the show, I burnt myself up.
Oh.
I burnt my hand up, man. Literally 15 minutes before the show, I called myself kind of trying to spark my cigarette. I was using the torch that I used for the fireworks,
Yeah.
and as I'm hitting the button on the torch, I hear it making a noise, but my cigarette's not lighting. So I'm getting angry, like, man, what the fuck wrong with this shit? So I hit the button some more. Bruh, next thing I know, I started smelling my nail burning. I smelled the skin. You can laugh, Martha. You can laugh. It's okay.
It's funny because I've tried to light a cigarette over an oven or a fire at a grill and cinch my eyebrows and shit like that. Everything.
Bruh, so I'm over here like, Look, my DJ turned around. He's like, what's wrong with you? I was like, man, nothing, man. Goddamn, shit. Oh, man. So I'm over
Put
here.
down.
Oh, man. I'm like, man, I hope this don't affect the show, man. But, I pushed on through. So that was a highlight moment for me. And I think another highlight moment for me would be, man, again, like I said, the kids stole the show. I look up. Now, the person I get the bounce houses from, he's my homeboy. We went to school together or whatever, but, supporting friends' business. I look over, and this man bounce house is like this. You know what I'm saying? But I know it's about, I don't know how many, but about 20 some kids up in this. So I'm like, oh man, bro, I ain't paying for no insurance on this, man. I got Tommy buying this man a brand new bounce house, man. Man, that was like one of the highlights, man. So the parents ran over there and got the kids. What happened was one of them got stuck in the net, and all of them. So I had to stop the show to help the kids. I had to stop the show to help the kids, man, while they was in the bounce house, man. That was just too funny. That was one of the moments. It's like, man, you couldn't do nothing but laugh, man, because it's like, as a parent, man, just being able to have that feeling of, wow, look at my child. They're out here. They're having fun. They're safe. You know what I'm saying? They're interacting with other kids. Like, it's no greater feeling than that. You know what I mean? Like, because we as parents, we endure a lot. So that's, you know what I'm saying? That's another reason why I even started doing this. Like, for kids to have something to do or look forward to doing in the middle of the summer. You know what I mean? Like, because if they do go to these commercial fireworks shows, they're just going to be sitting on a picnic, a picnic blanket.
Blanket.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Or the little lawn chair, they're just going to be.
Trying to get their parents to buy one of those $10 lighting rings
Yeah,
or something, or
Yeah.
the foam light up stick that costs $15. That's got a battery life of 12 minutes.
Yeah, it'll be dead by the end of the night.
Yeah, by the end of the night, man.
Yeah.
By the end of the night, yo. For real.
Yeah, that's real rap. That's real rap. Now, let me ask: is it anything? Was it any mishaps for this time around?
Yeah. Yep. I'll be honest. For the first time in 11 years, and that was the mishap I was just speaking about. Um, Basically, long story short, as I said, my mother lives on a dead end street. So when you come into the neighborhood, you have to go down past 3 different turns. But when you make this final left turn, you gotta go all the way down the hill. You go past 2 big old lakes, then you come back up a little small little incline, and there's my mother's house, down at the bottom of the dead end. So it's a
Right.
long little way. I had
Yes.
traffic all over, cars lined up all the way. But over and over and over, I emphasize, do not block nobody's driveway,
Yes.
please. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm letting my neighbors don't have to let me do this. They don't, you know what I'm saying? They don't have to let you park in front of their house. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you could legally be told to move you know what I mean? So don't cause no confusion, you know what I mean? And it just so happened that a guy was trying to get home. He was coming home from work, and down there at the 2 lakes, there's a small apartment complex,
Yes, it is.
and there's no light towards the entrance of the apartment complex. So as he's getting ready, he was already a little frustrated because of how long it took him to get down the hill. Understandable, understandable. You know what I mean? Because it's not every day. You don't see that every day. You know what I mean? So he probably just coming home from work. He turned the neighborhood. Oh, what the hell is? Where's all these people coming from? Where are they going? Where are they at? Then you finally get to where your entrance is for your house, and somebody's parked there blocking the whole damn entrance.
Mm.
So nobody can enter or leave.
Mm.
So from what I was told, because of course that was, well, Mister, you may know, but for you, Marshall, it's kind of a little distance from where the show is actually going on,
Right.
but it's still in eyesight though. So from what I was told, the guy gets out his car. He asks the group of young fellas, we'll call them young fellas. That's the group of young fellas to move their car, so he can go home. He probably said it was some aggression. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Because of how long it took him to get home. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But from somebody that said they seen it, he wasn't as hostile
Right.
as I'm saying he could have been. But so they started saying stuff back and forth to each other. Instead of the young fellas moving the car, they start saying stuff back. And then, the guy goes, "Well, I'm gonna call the police." Now it's no. You ain't gotta do all that, man. We're moving the car right now. We're moving the car. Ooh, they're moving the car, but it's already too late. He already called the police.
Yeah, he's already in his feelings now.
Yeah, and you know what I'm saying. And like I told the officer when he got there, man, I tell people not to block nobody's driveway, man. And I said, I already know what it is, man. Y'all got to call somebody saying they can't get to their house. Y'all coming over here like this is a scene of a Project X or something, man. I already know how y'all coming, man. So, yeah, that was a mishap that we had. I wouldn't say I never had the police been called, but anytime they usually have been called, I was able to speak my piece and they go on by their business, but it didn't happen like that this year.
So this year y'all got shut down for the first time.
Yes. For the first time in 11 years, I got shut down.
How far was you into the show, if you don't mind me asking?
I was 3.5 hours into partying, about 2.5 hours into
the actual fireworks, right? So you still had a long night of fireworks to go.
Yeah.
He said, "Yeah, I still got hella shit, man." Yeah. So you know what that means? That means that it's time to get the permits and get everything in place so that we can put this thing on a bigger platform.
Yeah, it was because I pleaded my case. I pleaded, but he won't going forward. That cop was pissed off. He was like, man, look, man, I get it, I understand. Man, it took me down there 20 minutes to get down here, man. I'm like, he's like, in his exact words, he said, you can't just shut down the whole neighborhood, man. I I said, man, I wasn't trying to shut down the neighborhood. I said, I'm doing it for the neighborhood. So technically, I didn't shut it down, you know? He's like, oh, no, no, man, no. I bet your fire truck can't get through here. I was like, I really wanted to be a smart ass because I drive 18 wheelers and I could have got my truck and trailer through there. Probably would have been inching on a few spots, but I could have got through there. You know what I mean? But yeah, so yeah, it was the first year I got shut down, and it's all good though, cause that just made me, you know what I'm saying, really buckle down on doing what I need to do, like you said, to get the permits and do everything the legal way.
Yeah, man. Time to take this to a bigger stage, sounds like, bro. And for you to shut down the whole neighborhood, for it to take 20 minutes for the police just to get back to you, to basically even see what's going on. That's that to me, that should be a compliment to the turnout of your event.
It was.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I mean, what people don't know is, I'm from the same area as Montana, so I've been to his facilities, and I also been, and we used to live in the same neighborhood that this event is happening in. So the neighborhood is a nice sized neighborhood. His grandmother house is maybe like a mile from the entrance of the neighborhood, and for the entire neighborhood to be blocked off all the way down to her house, that lets you know it's a large amount of people to come out. For him to say 200, 300 people, he's being very modest. He was probably in the thousands, to be honest.
Man.
Yeah. So, but all that is I mean, contest to why we're going to upscale this thing and do whatever we have to do to put this on a bigger stage next year. Where it's more parking for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we can collaborate with the city, and maybe let them know, look, we already got this in. Whatever y'all doing, just let us come in and help contribute, because we already got this going. He got it filmed, so he has enough evidence to bring to the people to the table. Like, look, this is an event that we got going. Shit, he can even probably get some of the officers to come and speak on the behalf of his event and how safe his event has been. Because even during that situation, there wasn't call from a violent situation. There was only call because someone couldn't get to their house.
Yeah, exactly. It's funny that you said that about getting the officers, because after we talked for about 15, after I pleaded with him for about 15 to 20 minutes, you know what I'm saying, I was like, you know what, you want me to shut it down? I got you. You know what I'm saying? So he allowed me to walk away to shut it down. He said, I'm gonna be right here. Of course, he said, I'm gonna be right here. Him and his partner or whatever. But the whole time between the 15 and 20 minutes, he just kept saying, I got backup on the way. I'm calling back up. I'm calling back up. And I'm telling him, like, nah, this ain't that. I know you. I know what you're seeing. You're probably seeing some ragged and rough looking people. They probably look a little slurred and look a little aggressive. But I'm telling you, you don't have to call no backup. When I go down here and say y'all got to go, they're gonna leave peacefully, and that's what they did. So shout out to my crowd for that. Because once I did say it, unfortunately, hey y'all, this thing is over with. They left. And they left in an orderly fashion. They wasn't shooting. They wasn't skirting tires. So when I walked back down there to them, because of course he remained there, that was the first thing that came out of his mouth. He said, "Man, I don't know what you're doing, but you must you doing something good, because usually when people leave after we come, they want to shoot in the air. They want to act out. They want to scream out slurs towards us, or act crazy." He said, "Nah." Everybody walked by. They was talking about it, and they got in their cars and got on. But boy, when he called his backup though. Woo. But you know what I'm saying? And I kept telling him, I was like, "Hey man, I told you, you didn't have to call them." But they came.
He said, "For that case, half of Fayetteville, the police department was in my neighborhood."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when you see all those people in a small area, and then when you see a lot of us, a lot of minorities, it's already a stigma attached to us. It's already a stigma attached to our community. So when you see all of us, minorities gathering together, being the loud, rambunctious bunch that we can be, from another perspective, it may look like it's a whole bunch of shit going on over there when really it's just a big hangout. It's just a big kickback, you know. um, I can contest that no matter what part of the Ville that you come from, no matter what set you may claim, or gang you may run with, when you come to 1700 block for the 4th of July show, all that shit is really put to the side. You know what I mean?
Yo, that is
Yeah,
fact.
it's
I've
really put to the side.
I've seen the different colors standing right beside each other,
Yeah,
slapping.
yeah.
You know what I'm
If
saying?
you
Like,
if you seen how the West Side do it when they do certain events, how everybody come and be peaceful for Kendrick, it's really like that for Montana. He really got the heart of the city behind him. Like, everybody respects what he's doing. Everybody respects that he's doing it off the muscle, off his own pocket. So don't nobody come out there and make a fool of themselves. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, real shit. And not for nothing, we used to be young knuckleheads too. So, we kind of the OGs of our community as well. So, like, a lot of people respect the fact of who's putting on the show.
yeah.
Yeah, if it wasn't Montana Cobain, you probably wouldn't have it as civil.
Nah, nah, because in the last couple of years, about the last two since 2022, I want to say I've had copycats, but other people have started to try to do what I
What
do,
you do?
on
Yeah,
their side of the town or whatever, because they done heard or they just somebody that came from mine and it came back. You know what I'm saying? Hey, do it, man. I love this. You know what I'm saying? Do it. But I've definitely seen they done had shootings already. They done had, you know what I'm saying, police being called for fights, all type, man. It's a totally different vibe.
total different vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. The community respects Montana. So, and when you get the respect from the community, then people learn respect goes a long way, man. You know what I'm saying? People gonna put that differences aside to come out here because the kids are out here. People parents out here. They women out here. So everybody conduct themselves in an orderly fashion now. Like he just said, you go on the other side of town, people don't have the proper people in place for security, proper people in place for diffuse situations because anybody and not for nothing, it's the younger community. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're the ones that get a little rah rah. We 35s and 40s and older, so you don't really hear too much of mayhem coming on in our community. It's usually from the younger generations.
Yeah.
So it's just beautiful for them to see the OGs mingling, colors right beside each other, sets right beside each other, units right beside each other, and everybody, and it's harmonious because it's a community day for sure.
Right.
Yeah. But a little known history fact for the 4th of July. A lesser known history fact, should we say. Did y'all know that the first independence celebration took place in Philadelphia in 1776?
Yes.
You knew that?
Yes.
Talk about it. What did you know about it, Matt?
1776 Independence Day. It was a celebration to celebrate their independence. That's why it was in Philadelphia, because that's where the Liberty Bell was. Constitution Hall.
Constitution Hall. Yes, sir. They call that the city of brotherly love, if I stand corrected.
Mhm.
Yeah, a lot, or the city of our forefathers, because a lot of, I believe that's where like the first little, like you said, the first hall where they do all the little. Before there was D.C., a lot of the meetings and delegations were held in Philadelphia. Correct?
Yes, before D.C., Philadelphia was basically the capital.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah.
I never knew that. That's dope.
Yeah, I knew it briefly, but thank you for putting a highlight on that.
Yeah.
Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff. The Declaration of Independence was signed in Philadelphia. A lot of the a lot of the paperwork, a lot of the stuff was all done in Philadelphia.
Yeah, yeah. It is often titled the forefather state of our country.
It was only settled on DC later on because it's not technically part of the United States because it's not a state, so it
Yeah, it's a
technically falls
district of
under.
Columbia.
It's a district of Columbia, so it falls under its own little area, and that was their main idea behind it. In
Hmm.
that it would be partly separated from the United States.
That's
Right.
why. That's why everybody in DC get fed time. You ain't going no state. On the county, you going straight to the
Yeah,
fed.
federal.
Everything fed.
Yeah, but speaking on that, man, what does Independence Day mean to each of you personally, and how does that shape your views on the freedom and the community of today? Man, Heather, I'll let you go first.
What kind of freedoms are we talking about?
Uh-oh.
Because you think about Independence Day, independence for who?
Yeah.
Because you can sit here and say we're all still prisoners. Because you can sit here and see the guy with the Vietnam hat and the scruffed beard and the long hair and the fatigues and everything, and say, "Is that man free?" And if your answer is no, I'll have to sit here and ask you why not. He seems freer than all of us. He's free of bills. He's free of corporate corporate structure. He's free of government held backness. He's free of all things. So is he just an addict or is he living a free life?
Oh wow. Hey, that's a perspective for your ass. You know what I mean? And that's why I like to say that everybody is right from their reality. Everybody's right from their perspective. You
Mm-hmm.
know, from your seat, who am I to tell you from your seat or from your view that you're wrong? You know what I mean? And like he just said, you know, freedom is in the eye of the beholder in that sense. In his regard, someone who, said, I'm gonna do away with government society standards, and I'm gonna live my life off grid. I'm gonna live my life ultimately free, because if you're not living like ultimately free, if you live in America, no matter where you live in or what you're doing, if you own anything, you have a property taxes on it. If it's anything worth of value, if you own a ranch, if you own a home, if you own land, you have property value, property taxes. If you have a vehicle, you have property taxes. So once you accumulate things, you are bound to those things. You're never really free, and nothing in America is ever free. And I would even say that in a poem that I use, it's a line that I used to say in this poem. I said they will always take the why out, because here in America, nothing is really yours. And what I did when I said that line, I wrote the word yours, and then I put the parentheses around the why. So you
Mm-hmm.
see, they always take the why out, the government making it yours. Because see, nothing here in America. I mean, excuse. They always take that why out, making it ours, because nothing in America is truly yours. So if you
Yeah.
spell yours, it's YOUR. If you take the Y out of yours, it's ours.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
I like that. I ain't even got it. Y'all both just said it. Y'all both said everything I would have said about how.
And also, let's take it back a little bit. Let's take it back to Vietnam era. They
Yeah.
came back and got spit on and got called baby killers and everything like that. When
Mm,
nine after when in the 2000s they were going to come back to the same thing. They were going to come back to the same thing because by the end of later on in the war, it was the towers got knocked down by Bush, and there's so many conspiracies, and we don't belong there anyway, and we've been there for 20 years, and what are you going to do about it anyway? So
yeah.
nobody cared anyway. So the vets were going to get stepped on as well. So luckily there was voices and made a change, and there's been big progress there.
Yeah. Yeah. And you guys, and like you said, you got people who are anti-war in America back then during the Vietnam War. Then you got people who were anti the us going into Iraq. So all of those soldiers, that came back from war were getting slapped about, the things that they had to endure while they were a soldier of the military army. So like the U.S. Army is like, what do you do? Because when you make that oath, you have to do whatever is in your orders to do. So when you come back to America, you expected to be treated as a hero, and you got certain people calling you a baby killer. You know, what type of hero treatment is that? Someone who risked their lives for someone's freedom to be able to call you a fucking baby killer here in this free state of America. So I mean, for our veterans, would you consider this to be a free state for them? When you see how many of our veterans don't get the treatment when they come back. We had a show the other day, and I believe that Mad Hatter Marshall put a highlight that was what is 75? What is the number, Marshall?
22.
42. Speak on
22.
that. 22.
22 veterans commit suicide a day.
22 veterans commit suicide a day. What type of freedom is that for them when they've been, sacrificed their life for America? So it's so the independence and freedom that we fight for, is it free for all of us? Or is freedom itself an illusion?
I think it's an illusion.
I think it's an illusion.
Because it's like, yeah, everybody's like, oh, think about it like this, right? Everybody feels like, oh, once I become so rich, I got all this money, I have no more problems, no more worries. I could do whatever, I could take care of whatever.
Yeah.
Well, sir, when you become so rich, guess what? Uncle Sam still gonna want his cut.
Yeah.
If you go buy that brand new, nice little 2028 car, you still gonna have to pay some taxes on it. Or you can be like everybody, I ain't gonna say everybody, but you can be like some other people, evade, and then guess what? You're not free no more, because now your ass going to jail.
Yeah.
People don't understand the cost of freedom.
Right. And that's the truth. I mean, I can honestly say that I'm just as guilty as every other American when I say this. I feel like us as American, we're spoiled.
Yeah.
We don't know what it's like to live in a country that bombs are raining down on where you live in. We don't know what it's like to live in a country where food is rationed. We don't know what it's like to live in a country where 98% of the community is in poverty. We don't know what it's like to experience those type of things. So we're spoiled.
Yeah.
And we're spoiled, and we're entitled to our way of life.
Agreed.
I'm a bougie motherfucker. If I ain't got my fancy water, I don't want it. I don't even want
it. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead. Go ahead.
You know what I mean? And that ain't, and that's a fucked up perspective, but it's the truth. I mean, I'll be a lie if I say I wasn't. What good is it if I'm going to sit here and lie to you on the mic? So I am. I'm a bougie motherfucker. I'm a spoiled son of a bitch because, like, I like to have my $5-6 bottle of water. You know what I'm saying?
Smart water.
Yeah. Alkaline water, fresh springs, or so the volcanic water, I like that. The water from the Alps, I like that. 2 or 3. The one I call it the Wakanda water. It start with a W. I don't know I don't know the real name of it, because that's what I call it, the Wakanda water. But it's the water off I think the mountains, the volcanic water from Hawaii.
Yeah, that's beautiful, bro. That's beautiful. That's not bad. I just had a trucking moment. I'm just thinking about the water coming off the mountains as I'm coming through the mountains, but that shit.
Oh yeah, man, that shit is. You gotta be some sights to see. I know you in that truck. You done seen some sights.
That should be beautiful, bro.
I don't recommend glacier water.
Oh, you don't recommend glacier water? Talk to me. Why not?
Too many things have been living in it. You don't know what was in that glacier when it died.
I understand. You said too much. You don't know what was in that frozen water. But they say things that are frozen, you're supposed to be like most of bacteria, parasite stuff, at a certain freezing temperature it dies, right?
No, it only goes dormant.
Oh, it goes dormant. Tell me about it. Talk about it.
It only gets put to sleep, kind of like what would be fish in a frozen pond.
Got you. Got you. So like how the reptiles do when they get too cold. They go into
Yes.
like got you. Got you. That makes
They
sense.
they go into a suspended state.
Mm-hmm.
You catch a
Almost like that same state that the sharks go in if you flip them upside down.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. But their heart rate get real low, and then it's like you put them in like a trance almost like.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. You ain't know that, bro? I'll be watching Discovery Channel, bro. You flip a shark upside down, bro.
I do. I just didn't pick up on that part about the sharks. I knew about the snakes and stuff.
Yeah. You flip a shark upside down, they bitch go to sleep.
Cause you know, especially growing up where I grew up at, boy, all them water moccasins we had,
Yes.
So, I was just always taught not to, you know what I'm saying, basically be. If you see him in the winter, just be on the lookout when it start getting warm and stuff. He might be stiff right now. He might come at the afternoon. he gonna be out.
Yeah, he might curl up right now because he's too cold, so he ain't gonna be moving too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, get a little warmer. He ain't gonna be in that same spot. You best believe it.
Mm-mm.
But believe it or not, it's not in a snake's nature to attack you. The only reason why they attack you is that they feel threat. Stepped on, or step into their territory without being aware of where they were at. You know what I'm saying? But they're just the planet's pest patrol. You know what I mean? That their diet is really like small rodents. That's really most of their diets, unless you got like a python. Then you may talk about small mammals, things of that nature. If you're in the jungle, then you talk about anaconda eating baby alligators and shit. But here in America, you ain't got to worry about seeing no anaconda unless someone imported it over here.
Yeah, unless you're down in them Everglades.
Now, if you're down in Florida, now they do got some reticulated pythons and some Burmese pythons down there that gets pretty big. You know what I mean?
Loose.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I was working in Florida on a solar site, and I drove by what I thought was a tire on the side of the road. Now, I do understand this. Y'all understand? Listen to what I'm saying. I thought it was a tire. So imagine the thickness of the coil of this massive wild snake that was just on the side of the fucking road. And I thought it was a tire until I looked in my rear view, and he was across the whole fucking road. His whole body was across the whole road. And I was like, shut the fuck up. Boy, that's a snake. And what surprised me is, as big as he was not slow. Like, he got his ass across that road pretty swiftly, bro. Like, I seen him. I turned the fuck around, and I seen his tail going back into the grass, and I was like, yeah, that's his. I couldn't get him. I didn't want to go,
The muscles, bro.
Yeah, they so absolutely. I don't know how we got off that topic with, but yeah. Them damn them damn reticulated pythons in Florida and the Burmese pythons in Florida get huge. Yes. And they invasive and they wild. So like, you may be, if you got them pools, almost everybody got a pool in Florida. You got one of them pools in Florida, you may wake up one morning and see a 17-foot snake in your pool. Like that's Florida living. Absolutely. Or crocodile. That's Florida living. I seen the first wild crocodile walk across the road in Florida. And crocodiles walk across the road in Florida like ducks walk across the road in any other city. How you see ducks be Debo on the road and they just mob across it? Yeah. And you gotta wait till they move. Yeah, it's the same way with the alligator. Once he comes across the road, that bitch like, wait a second, nigga.
You be walking your dog at a retention bond until then your dog gets snatched up by a gator.
You seen that video of that old man?
Yes.
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 Hey, the old man, you tell he's like a true Florida Floridian because he didn't even think. He wrestles with an alligator to get his fucking little dog out of this alligator's mouth and gets it. Fights with the alligator, gets his fucking dog, bops the alligator on the head. The alligator goes away, and he walks his dog back up the road. Like, hot damn, boy. And he was an older man too. I'm talking about senior citizen. But he was an old army vet or something because he was a tough cookie, boy. I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, that's why we truckers like on the CB we call blown tires on the road. We call them gators.
Blown tires. Okay. Call the gators on the road. Is it a reason why y'all call them gators or just
Because of what you just said.
is what you
Like
just
you
said?
gotta think about an 18-wheeler tire when it's
Yeah.
all ripped up and shredded across the
Oh yeah,
road.
you
That
gonna move
long
around that tire.
strip.
It looks like treads.
Yeah, it looks like a big old gator. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We call them gators. Like I might got a gator on the zipper. Or I got a gator in the granny lane, gator in the hammer lane. Watch out.
Ah, okay. See, yeah, trucker talk. Keep it.
Yeah.
Teach me so. Man, man, that is, hey, man, that is.
Yeah, man. Keep it in between the mayonnaise and the mustard, man. That's the yellow line and the white line.
Respect. Man, out of being on Navy vet, bro, like what does the concept of freedom and service mean to you, especially on days like the 4th of July?
Well, I already got into the freedom part.
Right.
As for the service part, I was angry when I got out, so I wanted nothing to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then it becomes later in life where you start appreciating it.
Yeah.
So, like, I guess for some people, I guess you could later on, it's okay to be that old man in the parade.
Yeah, absolutely. Which all your veteran get up on. Hell
Yes.
yeah. Absolutely. Showing off your brigade, your year you was in, all that shit, the battles you went through. Yeah,
Or
man.
or just a shirt and a hat because that's all you got left.
Hey, either or, you know. I love seeing all the vets and they get up. You know what I'm saying?
We actually have one of the oldest 4th of July parades in here in my state, in Bristol. The Bristol 4th of July parade is the oldest one in the country.
Look at that. Look at that. Was you able to? Oh no, you wasn't able to attend. You was dog sitting.
Yes, I didn't go this year. It's a traffic nightmare.
Oh, it's a traffic nightmare. I respect that.
and I've been to it as a kid, and let's just say a parade is a parade. You stand there for 15 hours, they drive by for 13 seconds, and then they're fucking gone.
Yeah.
You like, you motherfuckers, I couldn't even get a spot near you where they stop, because where they stopped at is for the VIPs, or
Yeah.
where they or that's always the fullest spot, so you get a spot on the parade route. You wait 7 hours, they drive by for 15 minutes, they drive by for 6 minutes, and then you're like, what the fuck did I just waste my time for?
Yeah. Yeah. But I love it for the kids though, you know, be throwing candy and shit, I
Yeah.
take and I like and I'm a band person, so if nothing else, I only really go to parades just to see the band. I don't really care about the floats. I'm not really a big float person. I know in Louisiana that is a huge thing. It's the floats, the design of the floats. That's a big thing for Mardi Gras. I don't really care about the floats. But if you in Mardi Gras, they throw a lot of shit at the festival, so you might want to be out there to catch some of that stuff that they throw. I had like maybe like 100 fucking Mardi Gras chains, but they was all different styles and different types, and ones that you can't buy on the store normally. You know what I mean? So that's a cool thing. They got the hill that they throw. It's like a little decorative hill that they throw. It's like memorabilia stuff. Stuff that you can only get in New Orleans. But from typical parades, I just go for the band. I really just go to see the bands. And I'm a man, so I don't mind seeing the dancing going on from the ladies, and yeah, we do it like that.
But how many parades play the same band songs? It's just a different band playing the same rendition of the same song you heard 18 times.
This is true. This is true. But when you got the high steps band and you got traditional bands, you know you get to see you get to see somebody play something that may you hear on the radio. You may hear something like this just came out, and they done got a whole routine to it. When you see the high step bands, more of the traditional bands, like you said, more of the traditional bands, they still going to play traditional music, and you're going to hear it every cadence. You know, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Simple shit, nutcracker, you know, shit like that. Yeah. But for the most part, you know, for the ones that have those untraditional bands and untraditional band directors, you get to hear that radio music and get to see how the children, you know, manipulate art, you know. So that's always a plus. I marched. You know, I was a percussionist, and I played bass drum in on the drum line. So I love I guess it's just because it was a pastime thing for me. I love going in and hear the drums, hearing the horns. Music is I'm musically inclined. You know, anybody that knows me knows that. So like, it's just that's what I go for when I go to parades, and I stand out there all day to hear one good band. But don't get me wrong, I'm gonna be like, man, Hannah Marshall. I'm critiquing everything. Like, goddamn, why the hell they keep going about with this slow ass flow? You ain't throwing shit. You doing no corny ass wave. Like, get the hell on.
Yeah, the same wave. Same Santa Claus for the last 15 years. We know that Santa Claus is going to end the fucking parade. This is nothing fucking new with this. You've been going for the same script for the last 60 fucking years.
Yeah.
This shit's boring as fuck.
Yeah, so when they're doing like certain, you know, floats that's just for like, you know, the real estate company, the bank, the power company floats going by, like all that shit is absolutely boring. You're correct. I like the antiques. You know, every parade do a little antique car show. I like the antiques when they come through. You know, the cowboys that come by on the horses. I love watching that. You know what I mean? Because it's always one horse that's acting up. You know, so it's always like, oh shit, is he gonna not act right or run into the crowd or some shit? You know, it's always the expense when you see the horses come through.
It's funny to say that, bro, because before I was
or you see the horse dump taking the
yeah, that's what I was just about to say. Before
the horse taking the dump before the band comes up and they come stomping in it.
Right.
Before I was at like a part of the parade when I was just a parade watcher.
Right.
I always every time I had to go the other way every time I seen a horse because I just had a feeling that the horse was gonna poop like right where I'm at. Like I don't know why I just thought that like I'm gonna just be standing here and the horse is gonna walk by. Cause they be doing that, bro. The horse just be sitting there, see the tail swinging
and it's silly. But no, yeah, man. So and then you got the guys who, you know, got that one guy who really know how to ride, so he got the horse spinning around, skipping and all that shit. So it's like, hey, you know, that real cowboy shit. Whole time it look cool, but whole time when you find out that it's really hurting the horse. All that training and shit to make that horse dance like that is really, you know, could be abusive to some people, to the horse.
Yeah.
And then they always have some pageant winner that you've never heard of, always at the front.
Yeah,
Miss Cornhusker or Miss freaking
sitting in the back of a convertible.
Yes.
In the back of the Corvette.
Miss Red Hen or Miss fucking some fucking stupid name, and you're like, who the fuck is this?
Yeah. This is true. Yeah, they always got that fake parade wave and look like.
It's like, get away from me, you fucking peasants! I hate all of you. I fuck all of you! I can't wait to get out of this fucking hellhole. You all suck dick. My dress is worth more than your shoes.
And it's probably what they're thinking too, you know, because you know you fundraise for them floats, for them parades, you know.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, so they definitely probably thinking something like that. You know, what y'all fellas got planned for this week, man?
I'm going back to work. I've been on vacation. I've been on vacation all week, so
Oh, you been on vacation all week? Ooh, fancy.
yeah.
Yeah,
I've been relaxing, enjoying it. Kids been causing more gray hairs than a little bit.
yeah, they do that. They do that.
It's been I enjoy every freaking moment of it, man. And then so now it's time to get back to work and
Pay these
gotta,
bills.
gotta pay bills. My oldest child's birthday will be this Friday coming up, so I'm getting ready for that. Gonna do something for him this weekend, and yeah, that's pretty much it right now. Trying to start doing everything, get back to the regular old routine.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that, brother. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Yeah. What about you, man? What you got planned for the week, brother?
I'm gonna do some writing this week. I got the dog until Saturday, so I got the dog for all week and everything. I got some errands I need to run. I'll be watching my niece's competition when I can because she's at nationals. She's got her solo tomorrow.
Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. Shouts out to the niece doing big things in the dance world. We see you. That's what's up. That's what's up. Montana finna get back on that road. Make sure you be safe, brother.
Yes,
You know
sir.
what I'm saying? Especially with all these knuckleheads getting back on the road from their holiday season, holiday little break.
Man.
Yeah. We finna get up out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Art and Change family. It's been real, and we appreciate everybody checking in like they check in. Don't forget to tell a friend to tell a friend. Don't forget to like and subscribe, to leave us a review on any of our audio platforms that allow us to reach more viewers. Also, we're gonna start doing marketing with different companies. I'm already in bed with Molly B's cookies, so I'll be giving y'all the promo from Miss Molly B's. I think you can use the Art for Chain promo whenever you go on that. Next time we're going to link it in the bio so that you can see us and know how to use the links to get those cookies, man. Anything in the store that she has, you get a 10% off if you use our promo. So we're going to start doing affiliate marketing with a lot of more companies so that we can see some funds coming in over here for Art for Change. Absolutely. But in the meantime, in between time, y'all got something positive for the people. You got something for the people, man.
Freedom or free doom?
Freedom or freedom? That's the question, folks. Montana, you got to close the statement for the people before we get up out of here, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man. Done drop my dog on. What did I do? Oh, okay, my bad. My bad. For the people, I just want to say, man, hey, live your life to the fullest.
Absolutely.
I always remember life is a marathon, not a race. Move at your own pace, man.
Life is a marathon, not a race. Move at your own pace. You heard what Montana Cobain said. Mr. 4th of July himself, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
You heard that man. And I'm going to close y'all out with a poem that I dropped today called Defamation of Character. I'm going to jump right into my shit. Forgive me for my eye contact, and we're going to get it like this right here. You can't see my eyes anyway. It goes something like this right here, man. It says, let me do it like this right here. I knew the fly on the wall when you was discussing my name poorly. Defamation of my character. Assassinating my true color while maliciously painting one of your own. I wonder, what is your vendetta with my growth? What compels you to tarnish my name for your own selfish gain, throwing dirt on me, not understanding that I was a seed all along? The more dirt you threw, the more nutrients you gave my soil to flourish, unblemished. I laugh at one's failed attempt to discredit my elevation. But when you grow to a certain level, You don't stunt your growth to those beneath you. You stay of a higher consciousness. We don't vibrate on lower tiers. Nah, we switch gears to add acceleration. I'm only here to be a messenger for righteousness. Never once did I say that I was without flaw. However, the best thing about my imperfections is I've learned from them gracefully. Where you were attacking my credibility tactfully, I was speaking positively on your behalf on rooms that you haven't entered. We are not the same. The way that you smile in my face and talk behind my back is insane. Having no idea that I knew the fly on the wall when you were discussing my name poorly, defamation of my character, assassinating my true image while maliciously painting one of your own. I still wonder, what do you gain throwing dirt on my name, not knowing that I am a seed, and the more dirt that you throw only gives me the proper nutrients to grow. Spoken word poem by Tone. Peace and love, y'all. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's defamation of character for those who are asking. And until next time, make sure that y'all are continuing to be great, man. Art for change. Peace and love. And we out.